Oh, tomato update. I've got Roma tomatoes that are starting to turn red. Look at all these guys, amazing. So I've got Roma tomatoes here. More Roma tomatoes up there. Oh no. Another, oh yeah, this guy's an heirloom black Carillion tomato. There's two of them there. More, can you see? I'm trying to do this with my laptop. More tomatoes here. Brandywine tomato. Oh, blinding. And these are pineapple tomatoes. Oh, I'm gonna show you guys my giant zucchini plant too. Drives my boyfriend crazy. I make him look at it every time he comes over. Zucchini! Zucchini blossom. There's some zucchini starting to grow in there. Hey guys, how's it going today? Happy Monday! I'm still doing raw I'm doing raw till much later in the day today. After a little bit of research and learning and thinking that I've been doing, I'm going to be trying to do as much raw as possible. I've got my apple pie in a glass here. I've already had 1 liter, so this is my 2nd liter. Dates, apples, and a little bit of cinnamon. Delicious. So I guess I've been inspired to talk about some more serious stuff right now. Why am I so focused on doing all this raw right now? I've had a lot of health issues throughout my life, never to the point where I was stuck in bed or stuck in a hospital or anything like that, but enough that I knew there was always something wrong. I had Candida symptoms when I was 6 years old. I was born with asthma. I was not able to participate in much in gym class when I was younger. I would be short of breath. My respiratory system has always been very weak, and it wasn't until I was in my early 20s where I actually started doing active stuff. Other than like when I was younger, I figure skated once a week. It was kind of the closest thing I could get my parents to get me into, close enough to dance, which is what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be a dancer. But anyway, so I always had things lingering. Like I remember being in grade 6, and I remember waking up on Saturday morning and just feeling like garbage. I very rarely ate breakfast before school. I just like never felt good. And as I learned more about nutrition, I started to recognize that the feeling I felt in my body was very acidic. And I've never I've always enjoyed fruits and vegetables. It's funny, the base of my diet right now were things I refused to eat when I was younger. It wasn't until a year and a half ago that I willingly ate a banana. I never liked pineapples. If there was a fruit salad with pineapple in it, I was not going there. Dates, I thought they looked like little bugs. I wouldn't even touch them, and now it's like kind of the basis of everything I eat. So it's kind of funny how things full circle like that. One thing I recognize lately is that I think I'm talking, I talk assuming that people know what I'm doing for lifestyle, but I probably have people that stumble across my page that, or my videos or whatever, that don't really know what I'm doing. So I guess this is kind of turning into a preview of my full story. But anyway, over the years, I had a lot of issues. I read my first nutrition book when I was 13. I always liked fruits and vegetables, but I also always loved fried foods. And I grew up in a household with 2 working parents. I was the big sister. So a lot of frozen convenience foods happened, because you do the best you can do, right? So there was a lot of chicken fingers and French fries and sweet and sour sauce, and on weekends, on that, time to shut down, I was able to have some chips. And potato chips ended up becoming, I'm noticing it now as I've done some kind of searching into my patterns, and I started to connect potato chips to time to relax, time to wind down. Okay, everything's done. You're not going to be told to do this. You don't have homework to do. You don't have anything and I'm not in school right now. I don't have homework, but there's always things that can be done. And I often, late at night, I crave these things because my body needs to know that it's okay to relax. I'm so go, go, go. So where am I going? I don't know where I'm going with this. Well, I guess something along that, because I'm always go, go, go. Like, I literally am sitting watching your YouTube videos until, I try to get off the computer before midnight now. But at the end of November, I am going away for 10 days to a silent meditation retreat. It's literally like wake up in the morning, meditate, eat, meditate, hear a lecture, meditate, go to bed. It sounds pretty extreme. It's called Vipassana. I think they're like all over the world. I'm going to the one in Ontario. I applied the next day. I was accepted, so I figure that's a pretty good sign when things run smoothly like that. Thank you, universe. So anyway, I'm going at the end of November, and I'm taking this kind of extreme turn and hoping that this will kind of get me to start to settle. Maybe I'll come back and kind of find some equilibrium. I'm very fortunate that, oh yes, that's what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about how I eat for the people that might not know. But fortunately, Vipassana, it's run completely by donation, but the diet is a very simple vegetarian or vegan diet that consists of like fruit, vegetables, some rice, very simple, fits into what I eat. Perfect. So anyway, about what I eat. So just over a year ago, so some of you, this may be irrelevant, for those who are familiar with 80-10-10 or high carb eating or whatever. But anyway, I'm going to pretend that this is the first time we've talked about food. So it was just over, it was I think like April of last year. I personally have dabbled in raw foods for the last 10 years. I've learned about different things. I've gone like a couple weeks here and there all raw, while going gluten-free at the same time, what I really liked about raw foods was it was automatically gluten-free and dairy-free. So it made it really easy to avoid the foods that I was sensitive to. Gluten-free and dairy-free was a long journey for me. But anyway, last year I decided, okay, I'm going to give this fruit thing a try. And I haven't had many full raw days, but around that time was when Freely started putting out the Raw Till 4 videos of the diet that her mom follows. And I was like, okay, that's doable. If I do breakfast and lunch, I can treat myself with my dinner. So, and probably about 99% of the days since I started doing that, breakfast and lunch every day, I ate exclusively fruit. I don't consume any oils if I can avoid it. Once in a while, if I go out for food, it's hard to control. You can ask, but you don't want to be depends on where you are. But I don't use any oils. If I use any oils now, I use it on my skin. I use essential oils, and I use an oil as a moisturizer, but that's it as far as oils go. And So fruit, exclusively fruit for the first 2 meals of the day, and then for dinner, I love having potatoes and salsa, or I'll do like rice, or I've found a couple cookbooks that have really excellent low-fat vegan recipes, so using no fats and using other things as flavors, and I try to keep the sodium low because I know that I can get puffy. So why do I consume no fat? Why all this fruit, all this sugar? But Kayla, you said that you had Candida symptoms when you were 6 years old. Now, it sounds so backwards to all the things, if you're familiar with Candida, or just issues with sugar in general in the body. It sounds so counterintuitive until you understand how it works. Eliminating the fats from my diet, so from my bloodstream. When you think about how oil and water don't mix, so when fats get in the bloodstream, they coat the cells, gives them like a nice little layer. Sugar is what our cells prefer to run on for food, but it can't pass through that fat. So instead, the sugar levels in your blood elevate. And that's when things like Candida, which naturally exist in everybody's body, but it blooms extra amounts to eat up all that sugar. We feel tired. We get all sorts of different responses because of those elevated levels. The Candida is trying to control the blood sugar because our body's not using the sugar. So that's the basis behind it. So 3 days after eliminating fats and doing fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch. I wasn't even doing full raw, but doing fruit for breakfast, fruit for lunch, and then doing a low-fat dinner. My Candida symptoms were gone. 3 days. Unbelievable. That was one of the great things about the Woodstock Fruit Festival last summer that I went to, was doing a full week raw. It was really convenient that all the food was kind of made right there. It was hard to get enough calories in. That's another thing I noticed. And the other piece of the puzzle to my late night cravings. Not only do I associate the greasy fried chips with settle down, but it's also in the years that I've been kind of playing with my diet and figuring out what works for my body. A lot of things are really, when you eliminate fats especially, are very low in calories. Our body needs a certain amount of calories to function in a day. And if we're not getting those, we're going to crave things that our body knows is a high source. There's also that term known as hangry. And I remember hearing a couple months ago on the radio, there was actually like a research study done that the hangry or hungry and angry combo has been associated with low blood sugar levels. And I've been noticing that more and more myself as my body really gets used to these quick absorbing foods. Another great thing about fruit, and why I eat fruit early in the day, and if I've eaten anything else, I don't eat any fruit until the next day, food combining. Got to be careful with that. So fruit is the only food that doesn't need to sit in your stomach to digest. Fruit passes directly through into the intestines for absorption. Awesome. It's like half an hour and it's through. So if you're ever going to have, for people that are eating everything right now and you are going to have fruit, if you're going to have fruit for dessert, have your fruit before your meal, about half an hour before, and then eat the rest of the food. It's going to be easier for your body to deal with those sugars. It's going to come as energy. It may improve your digestion. Who knows? But that's another thing, is all day long, my stomach is not having to work hard. Having a blended meal like this. Really easy on the stomach as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's very simple. Yeah, it's all that sugar response. I used to suffer from low blood sugar issues while I was dealing with the Candida, and I thought I was having sugar responses. but it was the fats. It was always the fats. I used to eat like 2 avocados a day, nuts until I felt sick to my stomach. And this is just so much better. So much better. I've mentioned a long time ago in one of my videos that I'm a certified iridologist. Now some people in the Raw Till 4 80-10-10 movement might not agree with it, but eventually I'm going to start incorporating the use of some healing herbs. I do have, like, about 2 years ago I had blood poisoning from my appendix. It's still intact, but it is quite toxic, and so there's certain things in my body that I want to learn to work with, and there are some herbs that are good for supporting different organs. Iridology is basically iris mapping, works similar to reflexology, where reflexology in the feet, there's different points that refer to different parts of your body. Well, the iris can be read as a map of the body, where there are different colorations, different textures, and that will show where there's weaknesses, lack of circulation. Strengths are good to know too, because usually those are the parts of the body that we don't need to worry about as much, and we can kind of just be confident they're going to take care of themselves. For me, I've learned that my lungs are lungs, respiratory, cardio, all of that are really weak. So that's another reason I mentioned last week I started doing a new workout program, so I'm on week 2. Tomorrow I'm going to have a look at my 1 week results for my cardio, doing the exact same route and seeing if anything's changed in 1 week. It's kind of neat to look at those numbers. So anyway, I'm going to start incorporating some herbs. I have been watching Robert Morse ND, his YouTube channel, and seeing what he has done, like knowing iridology myself and seeing what he has done, seeing before and after pictures. He's basically using a fruitarian diet and using healing herbs. And I think there is a little bit of value to it for people that have things that aren't being fixed with just like a regular healthy diet, myself included. There's just things that are stagnant in my body. So I'll share that as things progress. Right now I'm working on the kidneys and just getting enough water flushing through, stimulating my lymphatic system by exercising every day, getting something moving, even just jumping on a trampoline for a couple minutes, just to keep that movement, because I know that my skin and my lymph system are really weak right now. And I've got like bumps over my face. There you go. There's a little, I got all on my jawline. There you go. There's my before. We'll see how I am in a couple months. By the way, I know a while ago somebody commented on get some zit cream. These are not zits on my face. They're moles, for whoever is thinking that. Anyway, this is the longest video I have ever made. If you guys have any questions at all, I would love to answer them for you. Post them down below. Let me know what if you're following this lifestyle, or if you're following any kind of lifestyle and you've experienced some healing. I'd love to hear about it. That's kind of the underlying reason why I'm starting to share more and more of myself here, is maybe if I can inspire someone else to make a change and they feel better in their everyday, that's most rewarding. Excuse me, apple skin. That is the most rewarding thing for me. So happy Monday again. Hope you guys are doing great, and I will hopefully talk to you tomorrow. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Bye.